Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel, Steps to Wellness. Now, just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. And I also offer astrology birth charts. For more information, just check out the details in the description box below this video. Right, so let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Okay, right, so let's go. Okay, so we're going to come in with the now here. So you have the Star card. Now the Star card is Aquarius here, guys. Okay, and it is ruled by Uranus at this time. Now Aquarius, Gemini, is in your 9th house of higher learning, wisdom, here thinking outside of the box, taking a different approach to life. Here it does talk about self, it does talk about doing things. Well, you're coming in with wanting to make changes in terms of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about innovation. It's about, in a way, progress in a sense here, guys. Yeah, the Star card, and I will talk more to that. And you are also coming in with the Devil card here. The Devil card is Capricorn. It is ruled by Saturn here, guys. And so for yourself, the Devil card, Capricorn is in your 8th house of transformations, what needs to be changed here, what needs to be let go of. All right, now you're also coming in with Saturn. And so what Saturn is about here, guys, because that rules Capricorn, okay, is I don't want to change. It's hard to change. It's well, what it can talk about there in your reading, you know, or this is both you and your person, you know you need to make changes, but it's hard to let go of what you've already put in place, in a sense here. All right. It can be seen as quite stubborn, it's discipline, it's work ethic here. Okay, guys, it can come in as patterns and habits here as well. Now, when you're coming in with both these cards here, guys, what it talks about there is it's I want to make changes. I want to make some big changes in my life. This is both you and your person here. But what it can also talk about here in your reading is I want to choose what changes I'm going to make here. Because there is that drive coming in with, well, Capricorn here. Because it comes in as I want to take certain steps. Yeah, I want to plan it my way. I want to do it how I feel like it should be done. Yeah, of course, this comes in as you on an individual level. This is both you and your person when you come in this way, yeah. Because you are talking about big changes, innovation. You're talking about here changing oneself, changing one's environment. Here, guys, you're also coming in with social networks here. It does talk about a social group, progressive change in a sense here. So it can come in as your family, your friends. Here in your reading, when you're coming in with Aquarius, the Star card here, Uranus here, guys. Now Uranus is actually moving into your sign here. Okay, and it does talk about here in your reading how you communicate. This is both you and your person, how you come across towards your friends and your family, or people that know you. This could be work colleagues, associates here, guys, and it all comes down to how you interact with them. And there is a change that you were wanting to to do here, guys. All right. A change in the way in which you communicate is what I'm getting here in your reading. And now coming in with Saturn here, what it talks about there in your reading, it can come in as, because Saturn is actually in Aries here, in a way it comes in as a forceful approach here. You do have leadership qualities coming in here. This is both you and your person. It can be seen as bossing up here, taking the lead in a sense here, how you want things to go. See, for both you and your person, what it can talk about there is your social circle here, guys, which includes your friends and your family, like I spoke about before, and the way in which you come across towards them. It's like taking that leadership role here. In terms of that leadership role here, guys, what it can talk about there in your reading is still following tradition and religion in a sense, or still following how leadership was portrayed or done or shown here by someone, by a family member who did have leadership qualities here. It's following that. Yeah, of course, I'm not too sure if it can be seen as a regime. I'm not too sure if that is the best way to say it here. But what it talks about here also is changing how you approach it. That's what it's saying here. Coming in with Aquarius, the star card here. It is coming in as wanting to challenge how leadership looks like, feels like here, guys, how it's portrayed, the behavior traits here, even those patterns of thinking. That's all coming in here with these two cards. There is the want to take action here, okay, but it is coming in as, for both you and your person, just pulling back the reins a little bit here, thinking about it, thinking about how this is going to go, what this is going to look like, what needs to happen here. That's all coming in with these two cards. So in a way it can come in as, how am I going to approach my person here? This is both you and your person. How am I going to approach my person, and what I want to say lines of communication, effective communication technique and styles am I going to use here when it comes to your person to affect change, to change how your guys' dynamic relationship is at this point in time. Yeah, it's those two cards are coming in that way here. There's that drive, that determination here coming in with Saturn, Capricorn, the Devil card here, for change is what it talks about here in your reading. Not backing down from what your person are wanting. It's like wanting to implement here these changes coming in with the Star card. Of course, there's hope here. Yeah. It's a want to break free here. It's a want to break free from patterns, old patterns and habits in terms of tradition and religion here, guys, in terms of the program here. There is a lot of work involved here as well when it comes to those changes. The want to change isn't going to be enough unless the action follows here, guys. All right, and the thinking as well, the plan here. That's what it's talking about. Okay, right. Let's keep going here. So now we're going to come in with obstacles and challenges here. You have the Tower. Now the Tower is ruled by, well, the Tower is associated to both Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Okay. Now for yourself here, Aries is actually in your 11th house here, guys. And that is innovation, that is changes, that is progress here, guys. This is new ideas, a new way of doing things, challenging the status quo in a sense. And that status quo really comes in as, like I said, outdated belief systems here. I spoke about that with Saturn in terms of the Devil card, Capricorn. All right. Now you're also coming in with Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto here, guys. Okay. Now Scorpio is actually in your, 1 minute here, I've got it. Scorpio is actually in your sixth house of, it, once again, it is coming in as Mercury, communication here, but it's clear communication. It's about thinking before you speak here, thinking before you act here, guys, trusting in what you know to be true in a sense here. All right, because these changes coming in with the Star card and the Devil card, it is coming purely from yourself, like this is both you and your person here, but it's about knowing the steps to take. Here it also comes in as the plan here in your reading when you're coming in with this card here. Okay, now Pluto was actually in Aquarius. All right, guys, and we spoke about the ninth house here. See, once again, this is coming in as for both you and your person. There's that challenge here. There's that challenge against an outdated belief system here. It's a want for change. It's a want for more. Here it comes in as the world is changing around you in terms of innovation. Here, this is both you and your person. But where you are, what you're doing, that's not changing with the times is what I'm getting here. Because you are coming in with obstacles and challenges here, guys, and the Tower is, what I get with the Tower card here is it's actually showing both you and your person where you are at this point in time and where you want to be here. But what it also talks about here in your reading is that there's a dream. You're coming in with, I have a dream in a sense here, guys. I dream about what could be, what may be here, how it's going to be when it comes to both you and your person. But I want to take the action now. Dreaming isn't something I want to, I don't want to stay in that dream. I want it to be real here. I want it to be realized. I want to bring it into my reality when you're coming in with this card here. All right. See, it comes, what the Tower card is also showing both you and your person, and I spoke about it with Saturn, the Devil card, Capricorn here, is you have to make that conscious effort to make these changes here. Yeah. It comes in as breaking down those patterns and habits here, or breaking down that outdated belief system here, guys. That's what the Tower is representing here in your reading, that foundation here. That things have to be a certain way here in your reading. And for both you and your person, you're realizing it doesn't have to be that way. That's what it's talking about here. And so there's the challenge here, guys. The challenge it's on is what I'm getting here. Okay, so you were coming in with the Empress card here. Okay, so the Empress card is both Taurus and Venus, Taurus and Libra, because it is ruled by Venus here. Now, Taurus is actually in your 12th house here. It's completion, it's time to reflect. Here, guys, it's going within, it's looking at what you've built for yourself, how it's helped you in a sense here. You know, it's like finishing a job here that you've been in for a long time and coming to terms with those changes. Here, guys, I just want to put it that way here in your reading. And then you're also coming in with Libra here, and Libra is actually in your 5th house. And your 5th house is ruled by the sun, so it's about creativity, it's about pleasure here. Okay, guys, and so the changes that it's also ruled, oh yes, that's right. Now, the changes that are coming in here, guys, it's going from one cycle to a new cycle is what it talks about here in your reading when you're coming in with the Empress here. Because partnerships, relationships here, they are changing. Over time, it's changed. It can also come in as here in your reading, so you've built a life, you've raised your children and they have left home in a sense here. So what is left for you? What's the next step here? That's only a scenario. It's the best way in which I can explain what's going on in terms of ending one cycle, going into a new cycle here. Here, of course, it can talk about a career move here in your reading. But coming in with the Tower here, okay, Scorpio, Aries, and you were also coming in with Saturn and Uranus here. These are big changes. This is what it's saying. In your environment here. I spoke about leadership as well here, guys. Leading, carving the way here. There is uncertainty here because things have always been a certain way. Like I said with those leadership skills here is following what someone else has already put in place here. And so it does have an element here in your reading of adaptability. Now I need to adapt in terms of these major changes that are happening here for both you and your person here. Coming in with the Empress card, because this card is also part of the obstacle and the challenge here. And when you're coming in with the Empress card, it does talk about here in your reading, your everyday life is changing here. Could very well change. See, what I also get here in your reading is that for both you and your person here, the steps you haven't took the steps here in your reading to, it's like flow here, guys, with the changes, because the changes are happening. Like I said, the changes are happening here. All right, the world around you, your environment here, this is both you and your person, is changing here, guys, but you haven't changed. That's what these cards are saying here. But then, so what it can talk about there is how have you prepared yourself? How has your person prepared themselves for this change? Now, you were coming in with the Knight of Pentacles here, guys, and so I do see the Knight of Pentacles as a delay here, guys. Yeah, slow moving knight, but they do say here, guys, that when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles, they are the most not stubborn. Yeah, of course they're stubborn here because of the delay, but what it talks about there is preparing themselves, the security, making sure here that things are going to happen. There is, like I said here in your reading, that fear. So it also comes in as, like I said, in terms of that cycle, there's a new cycle. This new cycle could actually be about leadership here, guys, for both you and your person. Yeah, of course, it can talk about waiting for changes to come in a sense. It can be seen as the Three of Wands in a way here, okay? But what it also talks about here in your reading is, like I said, how have you prepared for the changes? What was the plan? What are your small steps here? What small steps are you going to take is what it talks about to pursue this new goal here. It's, yeah, in a way it can be seen as catch up here, guys. Yeah. You know, here, guys, you know, technology changes all the time. Yeah, phones change, you know, the computers change, laptop changes. There's always new apps on Google, on the internet, all right, and adapting to those changes. Yeah, of course, the younger generation, it's no sweat for them. They just know and they just adapt to it. Yeah, they have that kind of ability because the younger generation is kind of born out of that innovation, yeah, that technology that's been happening, yeah. Whereas everybody else here is playing that catch-up game, is what it talks about here. There is that stubbornness here. Well, I don't want to change with the times. I just want to stay how things are for myself here. But what it's talking about here in your reading is that it's proving to be an obstacle and a challenge to fight the changes. Okay? All right. Now let's keep moving here in your reading. Yeah, most definitely this relates to your person here in terms of that adaptability here, guys. Yeah, that, like I said, the plan here, yeah, what plans have you put in place here, guys, yeah, to roll with the times here? How have you prepared yourself here for this major change? Because that is coming in as a major change here, guys. Yeah. It comes in as there is a new cycle that is about to happen here. And are you ready for it, in a sense? And this new cycle could very well be with your person here. Now we're going to come in with the potential outcomes. So you have the Chariot card. The Chariot card is Cancer. Here, guys, Cancer is ruled by the moon. All right, now Cancer is actually in your second house of material possessions, stability here, guys, foundation. It does come in as family, friends here. It comes in as a routine here in your reading. And so that routine could very well have been a daily schedule, weekly schedule, guys, when you're coming in with this card. Now, there is actually, at this point in time, there was a full moon. I'm pretty sure it's still happening at this time in Capricorn here. This is dynamic here, guys, when you're coming in with this card, the Chariot card here. See, this card actually talks about the new cycle, the progress here. But this card comes in as your person here, guys. Yeah, coming in this way with this Chariot card here. This person is ready for changes. This person wants those changes. This person wants a new cycle here. See, coming in with this Chariot card, what it can talk about there in your reading is this person can't hold back. Your person, they don't want to here, but like I said in the beginning, there's these it's like you've pulled the reins and you said, hold up, I'm not ready. That's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. I'm not ready for these changes. This is so different to what I'm used to. And what it talks about there is you're still holding on to that past program here. All right, now you're coming in with the Eight of Wands. And you're coming in with the Ten of Pentacles here in your reading. Now, what it talks about there in your reading is that your person, this person here, Gemini, wants changes. The potential outcome is that your person wants to actually shift. Like I said, they want to shift your guys' dynamic, your guys' relationship here, yeah, to a more solid. They want it solid. They want it down packed here, okay? They want it in front of their eyeballs, but see, you may already be with your person. You may already be in a relationship with your person. And so what it talks about here in your reading is that your person wants to know here, how do you take it to the next level with you here, Gemini? That's what it's talking about. All right, like I said here. Okay, all right, so we're coming in with the advice. Now you're coming in with the Eight of Swords here in your reading. And so the Eight of Swords, what it talks about there is, what is it that I need to do? This is both you and your person here in your reading. And so what I get with the Eight of Swords is expectations here. I did come in with leadership, so who's the leader here? I'm going to follow you. No, I'm going to follow you. Here, you tell me what to do. No, you tell me what to do. This is what the Eight of Swords is talking about here. So there are expectations put on each other as to what you expect. But remember, here, when I spoke about that outdated program here, that leadership here, guys, remember that needs to change. That's the change here. That's what it's saying. So there's fear to change, is what your reading is talking about here. But what it can also talk about here, guys, if you don't explore here those changes and how these changes can actually be beneficial for both you and your person, if you, even though, regardless that it's both negative and positive experiences that you're going to go through here, okay, it will bring you out of the Eight of Swords, making that conscious effort here. This is wisdom. Use your wisdom to take the action here in your reading. And so what wisdom is about here, guys, is learn from your past lessons. All right, I am going to leave it there. Now, look, if you want to know more, book an image reading with me. If you want to know the difference between image reading and tarot reading, details are in the description box below this video. See, once we go through the image reading, we can go through counselling here. All right, so I can help you to release this fear, this negative here, guys. Release and transmute this. All right, guys, as I am a spiritual and holistic counselor. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Right, thank you for your reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later, Gemini. Bye.